Hello everyone. Welcome to the another episode of MEA Dev Radio. Today we have a very special guest with us. We have Tashwar Bhatti, who is joining us for our today's podcast. So let's jump right in. So Tashwar, do you know that we have so many events and so many things which are going on in the community and in the region right now? And the most exciting one is the Microsoft Ignite, which is going to happen on 12th to 14th of October. You can go ahead, explore a lot of sessions, latest innovations, talk to the product teams, partners, and it's a great opportunity for you to skill up and make more connections around the world. So you should definitely go ahead and sign up that and join that event.
I think I'm already signed up actually.
Amazing. That's great. There's another event which is happening. So this was more of a global event. There's another event which is happening in UAE, which is the Global Dev Slam, and this is the first time that Jitex is doing something related to developers, and we are also participating in one of the kind hackathon, you can say. It is the Metaverse Masters. So we
Oh,
are
okay.
we are concentrating on mixed reality, using AI, how you can solve mixed reality issues. We are trying to concentrate on that. That is happening on 11th of October. So if you are around UAE, do join us on that event.
Is there HoloLens in there by any chance?
There are many HoloLenses. So
Oh, okay.
you will get a chance to actually develop on the HoloLens
Mhm.
and also try out an actual HoloLens and see how your application
So
works.
I guess we're expecting a lot of people to join.
Yes, 100%. And we are looking forward that for that event. The third event, which is more exciting, it is happening in Africa. It is I Code Java Africa, and this is one of the longest running Java and Kotlin conferences. This is also happening on the same week. So you see, this October second week is like fully jam packed. It's happening again on 12th to 14th of October. And if you are in person in Africa, just go ahead and join this link.
Is there any other events that are happening?
There are two more events, which
Wow.
so
Mia is jam packed, I
yeah, it's
guess.
jam packed. Yes. So the other event which is happening is the Developer Summit, which is happening in Turkey. So Developer Summit is being held for the sixth time this year, and it's happening on the 15th of October. So due to COVID and due to the pandemic, last 2 years this event was not happened. So this is happening after 2 years.
Mhm.
So everyone is excited in Turkey right now to go ahead and join that.
So
So
is that a live summit or is it a virtual one?
it's a live summit, so it's
Oh, great.
happening in person this time.
Yeah.
So that's one of the good things, and we are expecting more than 500 software developers who will come in this event. And the last one, but it's the most exciting one, which is the Turkish AI initiative. This initiative raises awareness about artificial intelligence and technologies, which creates a lot of significance among our region and the development ecosystem.
Mhm.
So that is one of the very you can say exciting events which is happening in Turkey right now, and this is happening on the week of 24th. So go ahead and join that event too if you're around Turkey. So I give you a chance wherever you are in Middle East.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and join the event. If you're in Africa, you can join this. If in Turkey, you can join the other events, and if you're in UAE, join Jitex in that case. So
Excellent. So as far as I remember, I think the TRA, all of these Turkish ones are actually speaking in Turkish too. So for the Turkish audience, it will be excellent for them to join because they will be the sessions are in Turkish. So
amazing,
yeah.
amazing. So do join us if you are around Turkey, and if you want content which is around the regional language. So
Mhm.
that is one of the good advantages. So Dashwa, let us know more about you. What you do, and how did you start up with the community?
So how did I start up with the community? I think I started a long time ago with the community. Basically, I started with .NET actually as a community. I was in Canada at that time, and I started with .NET community because I was always interested in either teaching it or learning from it. Basically, that's the reason that you join a community so that you could engage with other people, with like-minded people, to actually share the information that you have, or actually just to educate them. One of the things that I've learned actually by teaching is you learn a lot more. Actually, let's say you
That's right.
want let's say you want to learn about a new technology. I don't know, .NET MAUI, for example.
Agree.
Rather than you just in engulfing all the information that is online, actually try to see that how you could actually speak about it or teach about it. That actually makes you learn a lot more, sort of thing. So that's been my journey of like starting with the community and joining community speaking. I was doing also speaking not just in local. Whenever I would travel for something outside of work, let's say I have to go to Austin, Texas, or somewhere else, Washington D.C., I would actually try to engage with the meetup groups over there to see if I
Amazing.
could actually have a speaking engagement over there too.
That's
So,
great. That's
mhm.
great. So, just to ask you, what is the motivation behind all this?
Uh, it's personal and also I would say it's like expanding your network. First of all, it's expanding your network to getting to know like-minded people.
Agree.
Second of all is actually the way to speak. Basically, it's like a comedian. A comedian has to go into a comedy place to actually speak and do his jokes. Right? It's the same thing, sort of thing. The more you speak, the more you're capable of expressing the ideas.
Amazing. That is the first time I kind of linked comedy to
There's
to
actually a
technical.
lot of connection between comedy and actually speaking.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a very new thing for me to learn also. So it's good talking to you
Yeah.
in that case. Correct. So how would you give a feedback to the developers listening to a podcast and they want to come and contribute to this community? So what do you give as a feedback to them if they're just starting up their career or they are going ahead and they want to contribute to the community? So what is your take on that and what would you tell them?
I mean, the very first thing I would say is actually go and join a community, look at meetups, or talk to your coworkers. Do they actually are part of any community? So I would say just speak to your coworkers or like look online, sort of thing. There's lots of meetup groups. Find out if they're actually having some kind of physical session or not, sort of thing too. Because the physical session brings you up to a bigger network. Try to
Agree.
go and join them so that you get to know actually. You might see a university friend that you haven't met for a long time too. You never know.
Yes.
And then you build on network. People go talk to people, sort of thing. Join the community, talk to it. Pick a technology that you're interested in. It doesn't matter which technology, as long as it's certain technology, maybe even languages. I don't know. Uh, Go and learn about Rust, for example. If you want to learn Rust, go ahead and join that community. .NET or like Azure or anything like that. Just go and join the community. From there on, the doors actually get opened. That's the main key thing, sort of thing. Once
Yes.
you join the community, you'll see that the doors are open, and then you'll see that there's more opportunities for you, sort of thing. Opportunities is in like more speaking engagements or even learning something more. Like it could be like, okay, this week you joined for Azure backup strategy cloud that some vendor talked about or some third party MVP or something talked about, and maybe a month later it might be like GitHub. You never know. So I
Yes.
mean, by engaging yourself inside of communities, you'll be able to explore your, I would say, explore your career journey in more fruitful way.
I can actually take 2 points from this. So
Mm,
my journey was started from the community.
mm,
So I can relate that very well.
mm.
And I just went and joined the session, and that's how I got to know. Okay, there is something like this.
Yes.
Okay, let's explore it more. And in your conversation, you said about MVP.
Mm,
So you have been a past MVP. Tell
correct.
us about what an MVP program is and how can our audience go ahead and become an MVP.
Sure. So MVP actually stands not minimal viable product. It actually stands for Microsoft Valued Profession. Now, these people actually, when you tell when somebody's MVP, they don't actually work for Microsoft. They are actually external people, sort of thing. Like, but they get an award because of the work that they have done within the community, sort of thing. So they're part of a meetup group. They might be organizing the meetup group, or they might be blog writers that write about technology and all that stuff quite a lot. They might be doing a lot of video series and all that stuff. So these are the people, or even wrote a book, for example, writing on like using .NET and React, for example. Just an idea. So I mean, these are the people, sort of thing. So the MVP journey is basically the the people actually join. They're not really joining it. There's two ways to join the MVP, basically. One is actually you get selected by a CPM. Microsoft has a position called CPM that actually looks at the community and sees that who are the influencers, basically, and then they might be nominated for it. The other way is actually having another MVP nominate for you, sort of thing. So those are the two channels, the main channels. So let's say I, as an MVP, I could nominate Hatim as an MVP sort of thing because I've seen his contribution to the community and everything else, and I know Hatim, so I could actually nominate him. But it's not like some random person. I've actually had random people contact me because they want to join. I say like, I'm sorry, cannot do this because I don't know you first of all. Even though I see that you've written some blogs and stuff, but like I mean, let's have a chat, let's have a conversation, sort of thing. So those are the two ways. I mean, is there a way to like now, here's the other main thing that I wanted to actually focus on. Yes, MVP has its benefits, there's a recognition, and there's also some extra benefits that you get. But the main thing about MVP is actually comes within. So I'll tell you my journey, sort of thing. My journey for MVP, I never wanted to become an MVP. So,
That's funny.
like, I mean, that was not my goal. If your goal
Yeah,
is to become an MVP, it doesn't
it
quite
doesn't
work.
agree.
So, I mean, my goal was actually to share my knowledge, to always be able to go out and speak and share the knowledge that I've learned and all that stuff. Because that is something sustainable because I could share. I like to share and I like to do it. But if you
Yes,
make it into a schema that I have to share, I have to share, I have to share, you get burned out, basically.
agree.
So it doesn't work. So it has to come within, sort of thing. So, I mean, a lot of the MVPs who are MVPs are basically doing it because they enjoy doing it, sharing the information, and ha- having an MVP. It's more like a side product, I would say.
Yeah,
It's not your main focus. It's not your main goal. Yes, you get recognized for it and all that stuff. You get more connection. Talk to the Microsoft's group on Visual Studios to any technology that you want to, whichever technology group you're into. You will be able to engage with them more, give them feedback and all that stuff. So it's a great program, that's for sure. But I mean, that shouldn't be your ultimate goal to become
got it.
MVP.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's a great insight. I wanted to ask you one more question related to this program. So, if someone wants to become an MVP, what is the basic requirement other than providing nominations? Do we have to do some activities before getting into that?
definitely. So I mean, if you're an outgoing person to begin with, if you run a community group,
Okay.
if you write blogs or video content, sharing a lot of the contents, I think that's part of like the points that you get. And
Okay.
then from those points, basically, you might have something lacking. That's more for the CPM to decide once you nominate it. They might say that, oh, you're lacking in public speaking, for example.
Yes.
You have a lot of blogs, but you haven't really spoken in public, sort of thing. He or she might tell you that, you know what, do a couple of more public, and then the next quarter, when we accept more, sort of thing, you might go into that role of like people joining the MVP.
That is great.
Yeah,
So, viewers, what I will be doing is I will be taking this, compiling this, and putting there in the show description, so you can go and know more about this program, know more how you can actually become an MVP in that case. So, that's what I was going through. So, talking about this community, I was going through a blog that is the techcommunity.microsoft.com,
mm,
and every episode, what we do is we talk about good resources
mm,
and what is going on in the region. So this time I actually went around a very great resource,
mm,
which is a self-paced learning course, which actually talks about how you can go ahead and develop and deploy your applications to Kubernetes. So if you're new to Kubernetes and if you don't know anything about it, you can actually go ahead, start it from the scratch, and you can actually go ahead and develop the whole software and deploy it on Kubernetes.
oh,
So
okay.
I'll include that link in show description.
Mm,
If you want, go ahead and have a look at that URL. And the second one is I have faced this personally many times. So, how do you troubleshoot when you're building a web application
mm,
on Azure? How do you troubleshoot? What are the issues with the web application or the app service in that case? So you can actually run a diagnostic tool on app service,
mm.
which will help you to do that on a real time basis. So I'm including that link also, which will help you to modernize that applications which are running on web app, and you can go ahead and find out any issues which are coming in real time in that case. And the last resource, I think so, which is a GitHub repo,
Okay.
which is about MLOps.
Mm.
So have you known MLOps before?
Yes, basically MLOps stands for machine learning operations. Just like DevOps, how you have an application
Yes.
that you're running through the operations like building it and deploying it and stuff. MLOps is a process of like machine learning, so that you might have different algorithms. Let's put it
Hmm.
that way to train a model and stuff. So MLOps actually helps you to take your model and then all the way to building it, training it, testing it, and then deploying it onto a machine. So that's the process. Just like how DevOps sort of work, where you
Yes.
actually have the code, take the code out, and then you might run some tests on it, and then make sure it builds and everything else, and then deploy it onto a virtual machine. It's the same idea, but more for MLOps.
Got it.
Yeah,
So actually, viewers can actually go ahead and link this or go to this GitHub repository, and they can find out a lot of examples and how they can orchestrate the services. So everything is available in this GitHub repo. So don't miss it. Just go ahead and have a look at this GitHub repository. So I think that's it for our today's episode. I would like to recap everything what we talked about with Tashwar. So we have multiple events which are going on. Join Ignite, join DevSlam, join iCode for Java for Africa, join the Developer Summit in Turkey, or the TRAI conference in Turkey. So you have a lot of events going on in the month of October. And we also talked about how you can go ahead and contribute to the community, how you can talk about different topics and how it is beneficial for you. We talked about the MVP program and the different resources related to how do you go ahead and start with Kubernetes, how you can set up your diagnostics in your app services, and the MLOps. I hope this was informative for you. And thanks a lot, Tashwa, for coming and talking to us.
no
It
problem.
was nice having you. And thanks a lot, and see you till the next episode. Thanks a
Take
lot.
care.
Bye bye.